Herzlich willkommen zurück bei The Council. Mir ist was passiert und zwar ist mein letzter Spielstand verloren gegangen. Das Ende von Episode 1 komplett AD. Ich weiß nicht, was ich da falsch gemacht habe. Es ist ärgerlich, aber unwiederbringlich. Und deshalb haben wir jetzt nochmal die Chance, hier quasi das Ende zu spielen. Und wissen ja schon, was wir machen müssen, so im Groben. Sprechen wir noch mit dem
Well,
Kollegen.
Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, the sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless, what a charming moment we have had together. I'm delighted I was able to talk to Mr. von Verlohrener. We hadn't spoken to each other for an eternity.
Yes. I noticed that Your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte had already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son. But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
Auf jeden Fall.
Well, I must admit, Your Eminence, indeed it does worry me.
I understand. But continue to have faith in Sarah. You'll see, I'm sure, that in a few days we'll all be laughing together.
That's all I hope for, Your Eminence. But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
Letztes Mal hatte ich das genommen, wurde ich alle Augen mustern. Ach,
If I said to you, where all eyes size you up, would it mean anything to you?
I don't know if it's the place you're looking for, Louis, but it makes me think of the portrait gallery.
There's a gallery here? Can you tell me where to find it, please?
Of course. Just go through the door at the end. It will lead into the library. Continue all the way through, and you'll end up in the gallery. You'll see it, Louis. When you get there, you'll know.
Thank you very much, Your Eminence. On that last word, then, I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
Ja. Das weiß ich gar nicht. Muss ich hier die Schlösser noch knacken? Gab es hier noch was für mich zu finden?
Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world.
Wir könnten rausgehen, bringt uns aber nichts. Ja, ich habe das Spiel ganz normal beendet. Ich hatte alle Trophäen bekommen. Es war Ende. Bin rausgegangen, habe den zweiten Teil runtergeladen aus dem PlayStation Store und wollte wieder beginnen. Und kann leider nur immer wieder hier anfangen. Selbst das habe ich noch nicht aufgemacht.
Amber crystals.
Komisch. Aber ich kann es nicht ändern. Ich muss es halt nochmal machen. Die beeindruckende Bibliothek. So, hier gab es doch noch was für mich zu holen, ne?
That truce. The Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Ich habe nur einen Honig. Ich war der Meinung, wir hätten
few pages out of an old encyclopedia.
Wir hätten vorhin Beim vorigen Spielstand hätten wir 4 von den Honigen gefunden. Jetzt gehe ich nochmal zurück. Ich hatte doch Honig. 4 Stück. Wo sind die hin? Nicht Honig, Gelee Royal, ja. Der Ladebalken des Grauens. Hier war irgendwo ein Schächtelchen, da war es drin. Aha.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
Ja, ja. Schlüssel haben wir nicht. Genau, hier waren 4 Stück drin. Die kann ich mir natürlich nicht entgehen lassen, ne?
I've retrieved everything.
Und jetzt brauchen wir auch nicht mehr so viel Gelee Royal. Weil wir wissen ja schon bei der Medusa, was uns da erwartet. Und können die Kombination ganz einfach machen. Auf ins Museum. Erinnert mich an irgendjemanden. What a mansion. Das ist meine Galerie, ey. Ich will nicht wissen, wer die ganzen Vorhänge sauber
Where
macht.
all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's
Ja,
the
wir
woman
wissen
my
es
mother
doch.
spoke of.
Wir wissen es doch.
And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should I go and try to find the creature now?
Wir waren doch schon mal hier. Jetzt weiß ich nur nicht mehr, ob es noch was zum Einsammeln gab. Ich glaube, hier war noch was zum Sammeln.
Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near.
A fragment of amber.
Genau, es gab noch 2 Bernsteinfragmente zu finden.
Amber.
Und sogar noch eine Münze, die ich bisher auch noch nicht gefunden hatte.
The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
Gut, wir gehen gleich hier rein. Müssen die Medusa wahrscheinlich zuerst mal... Da ist noch ein Schächtelchen.
It's a devil's thorn. I'll keep it.
I've got to find out what Mother was trying to do with her. The Medusa. A hero armed with a sword? A hero with a lantern. And the last one holding a shield. I'll stake my life on it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast.
Ja.
Let's give them a helping hand.
Letzten Endes war es doch Perseus, der die Medusa erschlug. Nee. Zum Helden mit Schild. So, dann der Schwertmann. Richtung Medusa. Und der Lampenmann Richtung Schild. Pippi dreht sich.
If I respect the legend, I have to place the hero holding the shield in front of the Medusa. Except for
Falsch.
here, it doesn't work.
Du
There
musst
must
ihn
be
auf den
something
Held
else.
ausrichten. Klack. Klack.
Whoa.
Wow, what about, what up? Wir müssen es trotzdem schaffen, dass das Mädel uns sich
Wow.
wieder öffnet.
For Pete's sake, Emily! You scared the pants off me. Don't ever do that again.
Well, keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop fooling around and tell me what you're doing here.
Ich suche nach meiner Mutter.
I've discovered a hidden
Hilfe.
message from my mother. She explains how to find the secret room. Something must have attracted her here, so I've come to check it out. And you? What brings you here?
My, you're curious.
Let me guess.
Go on then, impress me.
You're looking for somebody. Your silence speaks volumes. I must have got it right. And you will go to great lengths to find them. So, this person means a lot to you.
Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around on your side. I'll do the same on mine. And if you find anything of interest, let me know.
Oh, yeah. In your dreams. At your service, madam.
So, wir begannen mit der Büchse der Pandora. Die wir öffneten und
The
eine
heavenly
Trophäe
symbols
erlangten.
refer to Pandora's box. Emily, I'm pretty sure I've got Pandora's box.
Of course you have. You see an earthen pot and you immediately assume it can only be Pandora's box. Logical. What I like about you, Louis, is that you never fail to surprise me.
Sarkasmus ist der Frau nicht fremd. Krug nicht
Actually,
öffnen.
I'd rather not open it.
You're afraid, aren't you?
Have you ever heard of the Ark of the Covenant?
Yes.
A piece of advice. If you come across it, don't open it. You'll thank me.
Okay. Dafür gab es scheinbar keine Trophäe. Aber wir könnten das jetzt alles nochmal abgehen,
A
ne?
golden fleece.
It's freezing. Hurry up.
Cold? You want a rug?
Dead in that horrible thing.
That's a pity. The gold color brings out your eyes.
And your flattery brings out your boorishness.
An unofficial gospel? You'd be more likely to find this kind of book at the Vatican.
Nothing special. The library at Buckingham has 3.
The Gospel according to Judas, or How to Crucify Jesus as part of God's plan. You do realize that the contents of this book could undermine the very foundations of Christianity.
One more reason to leave it in the secret room of a lost manor on a private island.
Do you realize how important this book is?
Of course, but what I really want to know is how did it come into Mortimer's possession?
I was thinking the same thing about all the paintings and sculptures in the manor. How did the English manage to get their hands on them?
When someone wants to attract the attention of the world's leading power, somehow the gifts just pour in.
Ich könnte in
You
diesem Run
wouldn't
jetzt
have gone to the
versuchen,
Vatican recently, would you?
Are you calling me a thief?
Certainly not.
Baronin oder
Never entered my
Herzogin
mind.
flach zu legen. Aber würde uns das wirklich weiterbringen? Wohl kaum. Müssen wir wirklich so tief sinken? Wohl kaum. So, letztes Mal hatte ich hier gar nicht mehr so richtig die Bücher durchsucht.
Hey, Mortimer is the author of this work.
Ja,
It talks about his passion for art.
man kann echt leicht noch Sachen übersehen, ne? Immer doppelt gucken, immer dreifach gucken. Gucken. Letztes Mal
Guess what I
riet sie mir mal einen fettigen Finger davon zu nehmen.
Older than that.
A piece of Noah's Ark.
Not that old.
This could go on for hours. Just tell me.
Caesar's laurel wreath. The workmanship on this crown is amazing. The finesse of the gold laurel leaves is beautiful. A crown worthy of an emperor. I'd stake my life that it's the genuine article.
Na komm.
Stop! Don't put your grubby fat fingers on it.
Find my fingers fat?
At least put on some gloves.
Please note, my fingers are slim.
You were going to leave marks.
Was hat sie
My
gesagt? Hat
God,
die
what an
Fuck-Fingers
amateur.
gesagt.
Many a harpsichord players would love to have sexy fingers like mine.
Tell me where you took your infiltration classes so I can have your tutor executed.
Let's compare hands then. We'll soon see whose fingers are fattest.
No, I'm not going to compare hands with you. Let's just keep going.
Bad loser.
Und noch ein Buch.
Oh, looks like a pamphlet on different political regimes.
Politik.
Written by Mortimer himself.
Mortimer, das hatten wir schon, genau. Ah, schon wieder getriggert. Jetzt habe ich das
Here's
Schwert nicht
something
angefasst.
interesting. A manor in Maine, hundreds of acres of land in Catalonia, properties in Shanghai. Incredible. Some of these deeds are over 600 years old, and all signed by the hand of Mortimer.
I wonder if that's what inspired my mother's attention. How come all these documents have Mortimer's signature on them?
Do you think all these properties really belong to him?
Gute Frage. Ist er vielleicht ein Vampir?
See those fine scratches around the words?
Yes, and?
The ink barely spreads on the paper. It spreads exactly the same way on the signature. The deed was written using the same ink. If it is a fake, then it's a professional job. Several people have played the part of Mortimer, a part that has been passed down from generation to generation. Different men, but with one sole identity.
An intriguing hypothesis, and yet less twisted than some of my previous cases.
At last, you finally agree with me about something.
These documents are intriguing, but do you really think that's what attracted your mother's attention here?
I don't know. She was obsessed with Mortimer, and I must confess, these property deeds are troubling.
If that's the case, why would she have left them?
Once again, I don't know. We'll have to ask her when we find her. And what's your take? Mortimer's collection is unique, isn't it?
That's an understatement. No doubt he has a major passion for history and fine art, or getting gifts.
If each time Mortimer does someone a favor, they reward him with a priceless gift, that means he must have helped nearly everybody in the world. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was interested in here.
She didn't have time to write it down, or maybe she wasn't sure of what she was looking for.
Or she wanted to protect her discoveries. It's disturbing.
You'll just have to search the rest of the room. Maybe you'll find something.
Tja, Mutti. Was wolltest du hier nur? Da haben wir noch was übersehen. Da muss ich nochmal zurück. Eine Schatulle. Die wir, glaube ich, letztes Mal öffneten. Ach,
I
der
found an
Ring.
amazing ring. There's an inscription engraved on it.
Ein Herzantrag.
Emily, when I see that ring, I can no longer hold back my feelings for
Oh,
you.
stop it. You're being ridiculous.
What do you mean? I was just about to get down on one knee.
Okay, da lag aber noch was eben. Das habe ich letztes Mal vielleicht auch übersehen.
A fragment of amber.
Aha. A fragment of amber. Rachel Amber.
You should see this sword, Emily. It's magnificent.
I'm busy. Describe it to me.
It really does look like Joan of Arc's sword.
The famous Maid of Orleans. One of your favorite historical heroines.
You bet. Given the number of English butts she kicked.
And we all know where that got her. When you finished playing, maybe you can help me search the place?
Ja, ich helfe dir doch, Mädel. Die Brosche, die du suchst, liegt hinter dir.
What is that you found?
A cameo pendant. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out loud, Emily, you lunged for that jewel like your life depended on it. Tell me what this is about.
No. We just met, Louis. I like you, but I can't just suddenly open myself up like a book to you.
Listen, Emily. It seems pretty obvious to me that you haven't come here for the sole purpose of sampling Mortimer's cellar.
Stop all the clever evasions and just trust me.
And why the hell should I place my trust in you, Louis?
Nothing. I have done absolutely nothing for you. No to this, no to that. You ask for proof of trust, but when you get it, you turn a deaf ear. You are defiant, evasive, and paranoid. Go question your own motives. I've done all I can.
All right, fine. There's no point getting on your high horse, you know. So I'm wary, I grant you that. I'll admit you are fairly reliable.
That's it? I was expecting more.
Well, I'm prepared to trust you when it comes to choosing a French cheese. But I've nothing to gain by confiding in you any further than that.
Nothing to gain? Damn it, Emily! I'm only trying to help you. Stop needing to gain something all the time.
Because you think I need help?
Just like everyone. You have your strengths and your weaknesses. And there's no use pretending otherwise.
Ha! And I bet you found out where I'm weak, haven't you?
Tja, was soll ich da jetzt nehmen, ne?
You think your scathing wit protects you, but in fact, it makes you blind. No sooner have people introduced themselves and you already see them in a bad light. You play the part of a strong woman, and yes, you are a strong woman, of course. But what I see is a sensitive young lady who lacks self-confidence. Stop adopting a defensive posture, and you'll see just how quickly new doors will open.
There is some truth to what you say.
Oh.
I might have some weaknesses, but I don't need your help to overcome them. And I'm simply not contemplating collaborating with anyone at this time. Do you understand?
I understand. Verstehen Sie das? Sie arbeitet lieber alleine.
Yes, it's perfectly clear. You're already working with someone.
Ah, well spotted, Louis.
Oh.
I already have a work partner. I know my weaknesses. I don't doubt that your abilities will be of use to me. But I already have all that, thanks to my teammate.
Is there any chance you might tell me who he is?
No, I've already said too much. Consider yourself lucky I've even given you this much. It's extremely rare, believe me.
Come on, don't stop now that you've come this far. You know that eventually I'll end up making you talk.
Well, since no one can resist you, let's see if you can guess who my partner is.
You're a gambler. So, your partner is...
Eine Frau. Und zwar ihre Schwester. Ich denke, es ist ihre Schwester. Und ich würde sogar sagen, es ist ihre Zwillingsschwester. Eineigig. Hinzu wird noch kommen, vermute ich, dass diese Schwester ihre eigene Identität aufgegeben hat, damit sie ein und dieselbe Person spielen können, an mehreren Orten sein können und sehr viel intrigieren können. Eine Frau, und zwar ihre Schwester. Meine Mutter. Hätte ich vielleicht genommen.
Your sister. She's your partner. She's the one you're looking for.
Well, I am impressed. How the devil did you guess I had a sister? Virtually no one even knows. When it comes to getting results, you are very good, I grant you that. You deserve to know why the sight of the cameo pendant affected me so strongly. I thought it belonged to Emma, my twin...
Oh. Now I get why you said you had a memory for two.
Yes, you can't imagine to what extent, though. Everyone got us mixed up, so one day we decided to play along. Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough. The woman with two faces.
Emma and Emily.
Clever. But isn't it complicated? How do you make it work?
One of us has no existence in the outside world. We share everything. First for one, then for the other. We dress the same, wear the same makeup, we speak the same. We've learned to act as one. When we accept a mission, we both turn up. This time, though, she went ahead, and I was meant to wait for her on the mainland. She was meant to meet Sir Home and bring back the details, so we could work out who would follow up.
And there was a problem?
She was supposed to return from Mortimer's 1 week ago. The boat turned up at Plymouth, but alas, no trace of my sister. Instead, a sailor passed me a message from home, notifying me of her sudden disappearance.
So, my mother and your sister go missing just a few days apart. That's strange. Maybe their disappearances are linked.
It's clearly a possibility, but up to now I haven't found a trace of either of them.
None of this is very
Also
reassuring.
ist das auch eine
By the
Geheimagentin,
way,
oder wie verstehe
Louis,
ich das?
now that you are in on the secret, you are obliged to keep it to yourself. Or you will pay very dearly.
Don't worry. Your secret is safe with me.
Drohungen machen ihn geil.
It's time to leave.
Also ist The Order eigentlich so eine Art Geheimorganisation. Was spielen wir denn für eine Rolle? Sind wir nur Muttis Schoßhündchen? Sind wir auch ein Agent oder ein Ermittler? Oder? Weil wir wissen ja nichts. Das ist ja wie, als wenn wir jetzt komplett erst eingestiegen wären in die
What do you think of our
Organisation.
first adventure?
I must admit, it has been fun by your side.
Same here.
Aber jetzt kommt die Entscheidung. Letztes Mal habe ich ja vergeigt. Ich muss mich entweder für sie oder für sie entscheiden. Sie ist in Not.
Oh, she's been drinking too much again.
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
Also den Tattoo-Künstler hätte ich gerne mal getroffen, der 1700 Schwieback solche Tattoos gemacht hat.
Louis, we need to talk now. Otherwise it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I do?
Knacken oder knacken? Letztes Mal musste ich Alkohol trinken. Das erste Glas stieg mir schon zu Kopf, das zweite habe ich abgelehnt und dann war die ganze Conversation hier vorbei. Ah, Mann, das ist schwierig. Ich könnte jetzt zu ihr gehen. Die würde bei mir warten und wahrscheinlich könnten wir eine Runde Knickknacken. Schnickschnacken. Ich versuche das nochmal mit ihr. Sie hat ja auch Infos über meine Mutter, also es ist vielleicht ratsamer, mich mit ihr zu treffen, ja.
Sorry, Emily, but I can't leave Elizabeth like this. All right, Elizabeth. How can I help?
Thank you. Come on, follow me.
Mann, Mann, Mann. Schon wieder die Hupen abgelehnt.
Well, Elizabeth, what was so urgent? For God's sakes, what happened in here?
Ja, das sieht schon sehr...
I really need to talk to you, Louis, right now.
Does Lord Mortimer know the mess you've made of your room?
Listen to me, damn it! My days are numbered.
All right. What have you got on your mind now?
You've got to listen to what I have to say while there's still time. You need to know the truth about your mother.
About my mother? What do you mean?
I saw her.
Saw who? You saw my mother? When?
Just last night. I went out to walk along the cliff top and I saw her in the distance. She tried to hide right away, but I'm sure it was her.
Are you saying you recognized my mother in the middle of the night while she was hiding?
Yes, Louis, I know it was her.
You just said she was far away, right? In the middle of the night. and the exterior of the island isn't exactly well lit.
Listen, I'm telling you, it was her.
Ich verstehe auch nicht, warum ihr nicht glaubt.
Did you talk to each other?
No, she was far away. I didn't make any noise, and then she was gone.
Have you told anyone you've seen her? Sir Holm? Mortimer?
You don't understand. It's her. She's here.
Yes, I understand.
No, you're not listening. The moment I saw her, I was overcome by spasms. She's here. I'm telling you, it was her. Yes, I need something to calm me down.
Ja, natürlich
I'll
trinke ich eins
drink
mit.
with you, but let's go easy on it, okay?
Sieht irgendwie aus, als würde ihr
But where she
die
gets
linke
her
Brust
rockets from,
fehlen.
but frankly, it's disgusting.
You know, Louis, when I came here, it was in the hope of getting help. I've only just now realized that I've been drawn here into a trap.
Whoa.
Was haben sie mit ihr gemacht?
Alcohol's
Narben über Narben, Tattoos, Zeichen des Teufels, gestochen in Haut.
Here, the condemned's last drink.
Letztes Mal lehnte ich das Glas ab. Die Konversation war vorbei. Also muss ich es wohl oder übel wegkippen.
Man, I need to take it easy with the booze. At this rate, I won't last the night. Let's go easy on the drinking, okay? Alcohol won't solve our problems. Ugh, the second one isn't any easier.
So, do you want to know why she did all those things to me or not? Even if it changes the image you have of her forever?
What was she trying to cure you of then?
Of the one illness she never managed to treat me for.
Von der Krankheit, der sie stets gescheitert ist. Halt, das ist zu viel für mich. Hä?
Come on, Elizabeth. We have to finish what we started.
Oh.
I feel all dizzy. There must have been a reason. Just tell me. Tell me what my mother treated you for.
She wanted to silence them!
What? What are you talking about? Silence what?
The voices. The voices in my head. They speak to me, Louis. They've always told me what to do. They say nasty things to me.
Elizabeth, are you saying that spirits talk to you?
You're right. Sometimes there are several voices. How did you know?
No, listen, I don't know anything. I'm just repeating what you said.
They want me. Want me just for themselves. They talk to me all the time. Yet your mother did everything to make them go away. Ever since I was little. And look at the result.
It's impossible, Mother. You spent your life trying to prove that the supernatural doesn't exist. Why punish this poor girl? Oh, shit. What has she done to you?
Uh-oh, Louis. Are you starting to believe me?
No, but
Too bad it's all been for nothing. They're still there, you know.
What do you mean? They're still talking to you?
All the time. Despite everything Sarah put me through, I still hear them. And here I am on a lost island, knowing that no one knows me. And I find myself here at the exact same time as her. You see? You understand? You sense it too. I'm going to die here. I beg you, tell me you believe me.
I'm here, Elizabeth. I'm right here with you. And I do believe you.
Thank you, Louis. You know, despite what people might think, I'm not crazy.
Ey, Kumpel, nicht mehr trinken. Okay.
My God, Elizabeth, how is this possible?
Welcome to my world, little Louis. Welcome to my life.
Ja, da muss sie fliehen, das wird sie ja getötet.
If I were you, I'd have left the moment you heard me you're here, but if I had any doubt, I wouldn't take the risk.
Yeah, you're right. I can't stay here another minute. I need to get the hell out of here. I need to find a boat and get away. I'm not dying here.
Schön wär's, ne?
Oh, I feel so dizzy.
You like my little concoction, don't you? That's rare.
What?
It no longer has any effect on me. But my guests generally don't appreciate me mixing alcohol with laudanum.
What? You put laudanum in my drink?
In both. Don't worry, my little Louie. We'll sink down to the bottom together.
Oh man, I feel like puking. I really feel like shit. I gotta get back.
Don't worry, Louie. I'm here now. I'll take good care of you. And then I'll leave.
Don't touch me! Just leave. If I get up, I'll fall.
Das lief nicht so, wie ich es erwartet hatte.
Louie's tired. Leave everything to me. Just let go.
Ich habe ein paar Gläser mit Elizabeth getrunken. Ohne Erfolg. Ich habe Emily beredet, das ist alles noch wie beim letzten Mal. Keine Ahnung. Wir können nochmal leveln. Ich hatte genommen Heimlichkeit voll gemacht. War das so? Ja. Und Befragung, ne? Ich glaube, es war so, ja. Jetzt habe ich natürlich meine Kamera wieder falsch ausgerichtet. Das war's mal wieder. Wir haben es erneut beendet. Diesmal ging der Prolog mit ihr noch ein bisschen weiter. Sie ist der Meinung, dass sie sterben wird. Sie hört Stimmen. Alles ein bisschen ja, undurchsichtig. Keine Ahnung, was mir jetzt dieses Gespräch gebracht haben soll. Wenig, weil ich denke, sie wird jetzt trotzdem tot sein. Ach. Das war jetzt das Ende. Beim ersten Ende wurde ich ja verhaftet. Ich wurde ja gefangen genommen, weil angeblich diese Emily getötet wurde. Nicht Elizabeth. Und jetzt hat halt Elizabeth sich um mich gekümmert, in Anführungsstrichen. Aber das ist das Ende. Wir wissen nicht, was aus uns geworden ist. Aber wir müssen uns wahrscheinlich keinem Gerichtsverhandlung stellen, oder... Ja. Kann ich jetzt hier nicht weitermachen, oder? Wähle ein Kapitel. Ach. Das Bild ist wieder davor.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
Vielleicht ist er der Vater.
Utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Vater? Bist du es? Gut, wir können wieder ein Buch wählen. Wir wählen Politik, Belesenheit, Manipulation, Logik, Etikette, Wissenschaft, Sprache, Belesenheit. Ja, dann wohl das, ne? Dann wohl das. Wir können 2 Bücher wählen. Wow. Und dann gehe ich noch eins in die Etikette. Ne? Genau. Wir werden das Kapitel 2 noch anspielen. Interessiert mich jetzt. Die Schöpfung, Sixtinische Kapelle.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. Unfortunately, I am now confronted with another problem, which I would rather have done without. You see, last night, Miss Adams also went missing.
And why is that? Can you tell me more?
I have had my people searching for her all over the island. Alas, to no avail. It so happens that both her mental and her physical health are extremely fragile. I'm worried that the same thing happened to her as to your mother. Also, I would appreciate it very much if you could tell me what you were doing on the floor in her room.
Das war ein kleines Techtelmechtel.
It's quite normal. I can explain everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. You see, Sir Gregory is about to arrive, and he's taken Elizabeth's disappearance very, very seriously. Please, reassure him so that we can talk about your mother.
William, I would like to see you a moment before we begin. In private.
Let's step outside a moment. Louis, this will only take a few moments.
Natürlich. Diese Masken.
All right, let's take this chance to look around.
Zeugenaussagen der Gäste Bonaparte und Hillsborough. Aussage von Napoleon Bonaparte. Auf die Frage, was haben Sie gestern Abend getan, antwortet Monsieur Bonaparte. Nachdem ich mit Lord Mortimer gesprochen habe, habe ich den ganzen Abend mit Sir Gregory, Mr. Washington und seiner Eminenz Piaggi Karten gespielt. Sir Gregory gewann, bla bla bla. Auf die Frage, Verlauf aufhören, antwortet die Herzogin, nein, nicht, dass ich wüsste. Das war's schon. Ah, hätte ich mal noch mehr gelesen.
Please, sit back down, Louis.
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man.
Gregory, Louis told me we needn't be concerned.
Of course. Monsieur de Richet, the situation seems to escape your grasp, so I won't beat about the bush. Did you kill Elizabeth Adams?
What?
Elizabeth is dead?
No. Now let us remain calm. We do not yet know, Gregory, precisely what has happened to our poor Elizabeth.
I beg your pardon? So what are you accusing me of then?
We must remain calm, Gregory. We have found no evidence that would suggest that Elizabeth has been murdered. For the time being, she has only disappeared. Let's stick to the facts, if you please.
Well, where is she then?
Last night when we talked, she said she felt uncomfortable here and spoke of leaving but didn't say where to.
Knowing Elizabeth, I am sure she must have spoken to you about your mother.
I don't see the connection. What has my mother got to do with this?
Gregory is suggesting he isn't certain that Elizabeth has left the island, and that some misfortune might well have befallen her during the night.
But that's not the case.
Well, that's what you say. You are the last person who saw her alive. There might well be any number of reasons why you wanted her silenced.
No one can substantiate your claim that she left as you said she did, Louis.
Damnation, William. This is a fiasco. Sir, you don't seem to realize just how serious this is.
Let's try and remain calm, Gregory. In any case, it would be far better if Elizabeth really has left the island, as Louis says. Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Vielleicht kann ich dieses Gespräch gar nicht gewinnen, ne?
She couldn't bear it anymore. She was becoming hysterical and drinking heavily. She was panic-stricken at the thought of staying here, and I didn't know she wasn't allowed to leave.
It's not that she was a prisoner here, Louis, but Elizabeth is mentally very fragile, and I fear she might do something terrible to herself or others. She wasn't ready, and you have made a grave mistake by encouraging her.
William, don't justify yourself. He won't even answer the question. What is the real reason, Monsieur de Richet? Monsieur de Richet, we have given you every opportunity to reassure us as to the fate of Elizabeth. You have only succeeded in plunging yourself into deeper trouble. I will never rest until we are certain that Elizabeth is indeed alive.
I assure you, my lord.
We are obliged to believe you for the moment. Consequently, I shall make you a promise in return. If ever we find out that anything has happened to poor Elizabeth, I shall personally see to it that your head will land in a basket. You don't need us for any of this, so come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Dein Kopf wird vielleicht noch in einem Basket enden.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Sie versteckt sich, so ist sie ganz einfach.
She isn't missing, you know.
What? What do you mean?
My mother has left traces in every nook and cranny of your island, my lord. She's definitely here. Now, what worries me most is why she doesn't show herself.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday.
during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor
Natürlich
of
nehme ich
attending?
teil, natürlich.
If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
Sie hat einen Käufer gesucht. Ich habe nicht die geringste Ahnung.
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
Ich glaube, er hatte einen deutschen Namen. Von Rochette von Borchardt.
The dealer was called von Burchard. As for the buyer, he was unknown to us.
No, I don't know anything about that. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Was bedeutet da oben dieses Symbol? Vielleicht hat sie etwas entdeckt, vielleicht...
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
War sie von Werner gegenüber misstrauisch? War sie Mortimer gegenüber misstrauisch? Adams war ebenfalls hier?
It seems you're close friends. What can you tell me about Sir Gregory?
Gregory? Oh, he's one of those cantankerous old men who hates losing at chess. He's a little eccentric and rather conservative. I'm sure you've met the type.
Well, actually, I don't judge people on how they look.
And you do well not to. What with his manner of continuing to wear makeup as he does, Gregory often gives off an unhealthy image. The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we like to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jersey, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Der Frieden von Jersey noch nicht erlangt.
Yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades, how Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends, and how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Also, sie hat diese Emma erschossen. Er weiß sogar davon, dass es eine Doppelperson ist.
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Warum sagen die denn der Emily das nicht? Und was ist mit der Leiche passiert? Oder ist die womöglich gar nicht tot? Fragen über Fragen. Okay, was ist hier los? Ist das der Abstellraum? Ist das der Abstellraum oder wie oder was? genauso aus wie die Etage, wo die ganzen Zimmer waren. Ich bin ein wenig...
Jacques Perru?
Ja, das ist die Etage, okay. Geht zum Turmzimmer. Okay, jetzt liegt Zeug rum. Wir schauen uns um. Der Abstellraum.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting.
Natürlich ist da noch was
She
übergeblieben.
says we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is on to us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Oh, Gelee Royal. Oh. Ich möchte baden in Gelee Royal.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Sie schreibt, wir müssen eine sichere Kommunikationsmethode finden. Jemand ist auf der Spur gekommen. Haben Sie Vertrauen in meinen Glauben an den Mann mit dem Schwert? Okay, das scheint ein Buch zu sein.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
What is this disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Ein Magnet.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Wahnsinn.
A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best-known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion can be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors, too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Kann man viel rein interpretieren, ne? Karmelitengeist. Eine Sammlermünze. Okay, ich denke, hier haben wir alles erstmal ausgeschöpft.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Ah, ja. Öffnen Sie mit dem Magneten.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. We'll see if it works.
Na da schau an. Das ging einfach. Ein sehr, sehr starker Elektromagnet.
It's open.
Elektrostatischer Magnet. Gelee, oh.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Der hat ein Schwert.
St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Ja.
So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Vielleicht ein Buch.
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
A fragment of amber.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Bücherwurm.
St. John is known as the youngest of Christ's apostles, while we often give credit to St. John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible. St. John, painted by Guido Reni.
Vielleicht der 11.
The New Testament.
Paulus Briefe, 1 von 2.
This volume dates from the first edition by Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Hä? Ey, jetzt habe ich so viel ausgegeben. kein Gelee Royal. Okay, wir müssen das Buch mal noch ein bisschen durchsuchen. Oh, Alter, ist das ein Rätsel hier. Oh, Kapitel 1. Kapitel 6. Vielleicht doch Kapitel 2, Vers 11.
Do all things without murmurings and disputes.
Johannes, Matthäus.
Now, there is a Jerusalem by the sheep market, a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches.
Puh. Kapitel 2, Vers 11.
But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness hath blinded his eyes.
Kapitel. Irgendwo muss es doch Kapitel 11 geben. Kapitel 11, Vers 2. Oh Mann.
Volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
Okay, ich gehe nochmal zurück. Ich muss nochmal kurz...
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, A connection with the figure, maybe?
Okay. Paulus. Nee. Paulus ist schon richtig, ne?
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Okay, ich verstehe das jetzt nicht so richtig hier. Galaterbrief, Korintherbrief. Vers 11. Kapitel 12. Echt, das ist mir zu hoch hier sowas, Mensch. Paulus.
I guess I'll just come back later.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Rini. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Das kennen wir doch schon, oder nicht?
Of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Rini. St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black, and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Dante's Paradise, Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortal world must...
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Schon
There's a
wieder.
legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting.
Ach so.
She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part.
Nervt.
Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Ja, den Mann mit dem Schwert haben wir bereits gefunden, ne?
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Das muss irgendwas mit dem Buch hier auf sich haben, ne? Logisch. Mit 11 und 2. Brief und Sache schief, meine Mutter, die ich im Keim gefunden habe. Es muss was hiermit auf sich haben. Ich gehe jetzt nochmal dahin und höre mir das nochmal an.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
Apostel.
Then they suborned men, which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God." And suddenly there came a sound from heaven like a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting.
Brief, Galaterbrief, Hebräer. Offenbarung des Johannes Petrus. Das hat man schon.
But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness hath blinded his eyes. St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Paulus, Zahl 11. Also, zweite. Und irgendwas mit 11. Elf ist die 11. Wo ist die 11?
Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the church of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and in the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.
Das ist doch nicht normal. Bitte 1:22.
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Römerbrief, Kapitel 11, Vers 11.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Oh, wait. A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say?
Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle.
What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Ist der jüngste Apostel. Ist das der jüngste Apostel?
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni.
Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Ja, ja.
There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. Choosing the Hebrew alphabet is no coincidence. It's got to be a reference to the Bible.
Oh mein Gott. Das ist schon wieder die größte Spinne der Welt. Die Bibel.
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
Ich wäre dir dankbar, Spinne, wenn du rausgehen könntest. Ich kämpfe kurz mit der Spinne. Kampf gewonnen, Spinne ist draußen. So, Umgebung inspizieren. Verstaubte Möbelstück
There are
inspizieren.
finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust.
8.
8 in all. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. No, nothing of value here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Das hat man schon. Hier waren wir auch.
something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean? It must be the group of pilgrims mentioned from before. I guess maybe the city of Corinth is a reference to the epistle from Corinthians in the Bible.
Korintherbrief.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Nein, ich will die Korinther sehen. Korintherbrief 8. Vers 8.
How shall not the ministration of the Spirit not be more glorious? Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Oh Mann. Korintherbrief, Kapitel 2, Vers 5.
For we are unto God a sweet savor of Christ, in them that are saved, and in them that perish.
Oh Mann. Korintherbrief 1.
For you are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body
Bald habe ich ja
and
jeden
your
Text
spirit,
10-mal angeklickt.
which are God's. Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded?
Ah, look. Here's a message.
Was
It
hat mich
is
jetzt
of paramount
dahin führen sollen?
Importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them.
And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
For you are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
Zu Markus. Okay, Markus.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee
Kack.
and was
Warum
baptized
nehme ich
by
nicht einfach
John
das
in
Buch
Jordan.
und halte es andersrum hin und fallen alle Nachrichten raus?
And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread, and blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Okay, vielleicht...
That's right, St. John is often credited with writing about the apocalypse
Johannes.
in the last book of the Bible. He's also known as the youngest of Christ's apostles. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle. The prophecy of the young apostle, that was John. And the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to St. John. St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard.
Okay, das war wahrscheinlich das vorherige, ne?
Saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing." And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Pliny. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Keine Enge hören kann. Kein Ärger hier, Katzen. Was soll ich jetzt tun? Kann mir das mal einer erklären?
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
und habe es ein Ort versteckt, an dem es niemand finden kann. Das ist sicher. Ich erwarte auf Ihre Anweisung. Ich werde Ihre Antwort hören. So wie der Engel, so wie der den Engel hört.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors
der den Engel hört, genau,
Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Wo ist der den Engel hört? War da auch so ein Gemälde, oder?
Drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. It must be the group of pilgrims mentioned from before. I guess maybe the city of Corinth is a reference to the epistle from Corinthians in the Bible.
Habe ich das schon? Und es ist besondere Wichtigkeit, dass niemand findet. Nehmen Sie sich vor dem Preußen in Acht. Er hat Lunte gerochen. Wir sollten uns treffen. Sagen Sie mir wann und wo, aber nicht heute. Ich kann nicht. Inzwischen folge ich erste Gruppe zu Markus. Folge ich der ersten Gruppe zu Markus, der Ihnen die Antwort verraten wird. Markus. Erste Gruppe von Markus.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan.
Markus.
And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet.
Markus.
And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to them, and said, Take, eat, this is my body.
Markus?
Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Der ersten Gruppe.
I guess I'll just come back later. That's right, St. John is often credited with writing about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible. He's also known as the youngest of Christ's apostles.
Achso, da war ich schon, okay. Welcher ist Markus? Bist du Markus?
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by
Markus.
Guido Reni. There's nothing worth noticing here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. No, nothing of value here.
Was auch nichts.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
8.
Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. Choosing the Hebrew alphabet is no coincidence. It's got to be a reference to the Bible.
8. Ah.
There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Markus. Vers 8.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Verlohrener. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? I'm guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Das war ein Krampf. So viel steht fest. Also wenn das mir jemand sehen sollte, ist wahrscheinlich an dieser Stelle schon eingeschlafen. Also oh, ich bin einfach so blöd für sowas, wie es aussieht. Aber wir haben es ja geschafft, ne? Ich konnte meine Gastgeber nicht von meiner Unschuld überzeugen. Ich habe mich in den Augen von Sir Horn noch verdächtiger gemacht. Ich habe die Nachricht meiner Mutter nicht verstanden. Ich hätte die gesamte Korrespondenz zwischen meiner Mutter und I finden können. Habe ich nicht gefunden. Ich habe Lord Mortimers Arbeitszimmer durchsucht. Ich habe die Nachricht meiner Mutter gefunden. Ah, das ist ein Ärger, hä? Oh Mann, das war schlecht. Wissenschaft, Ablenkung. Sprachen. Haben wir Sprachen? Nee. Ich kann nicht leveln.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
So, für heute reicht's. Die Rätsel werden kniffliger und sehr langwierig. Und ich habe noch nicht mal alles gelöst. Ich habe nicht mal alles gefunden. Aber egal. Wir kommen Mutter langsam auf die Spur. Und Mortimer, was spielt der für eine Rolle? Ich vertraue ihm nicht. Genauso wenig wie Holm. Wir sind hier im Prinzip auf uns alleine gestellt. Wir können hier eigentlich niemandem vertrauen. Selbst unsere eigene Mutter nicht. Wie es weitergeht, erfahren wir hier beim nächsten Mal. Goodbye. everyone.